Hey, I do lives every single day, and I'm used to saying good morning, good afternoon, but this is good evening. Hey, I'm Neil McDonnell. Welcome to my path to $1 million. Hopefully I had a good title on there, but basically I'm starting up a GovCon business in 2025 to get to $1 million to show you that if you follow the process that I teach, then you will have success. And I teach the process for free. I don't even sell that, right? So if you come to all my trainings, you see that. But I've been training for 8 years, and I really want people to see I can go back and build a brand new government contracting business following my process. For the most part, I'll use my wife's name to get traction, so I'm not piggybacking off of all of my relationships, and I'm showing you from the scratch. So hopefully that's what you're here for. I'm excited about it. The company name is called 𝗟𝗂, and that's what I'm building. It's a government contracting business. If you don't know who I am, my name is Neil McDonnell. I'm the president of the GovCon Chamber of Commerce. I am co-founder of GovCon in a Box, which all sorts of AI magical tools that I like, all the tools that I know that we need. We've been building them, so I'm super excited about that. I spent 20 years as a government contractor, as a small business owner, doing every single position in there, doing the sales, doing the IT work with the customer, running the company, which is the part I hate. Like I've done all those kind of things. And then in 2017, I sold my last company. And since 2018, I've been teaching you government contracting is not a secret. It's just a process. So today we're going to pick up on this journey. Today is day 8, January 8th. I had to look and remind myself. Actually, somebody on my team, because it's late in the day for me here, and I'm going to go get dinner in a second. But somebody was like, oh, why don't you just do 2 videos so you have tomorrow? I'm like, no, I'm coming back to show you that if I just spend 30 to 60 minutes, no more than 60 minutes, but 30 to 60 minutes a day, I will build $1 million company. And if you follow along in the journey, you'll see what I'm doing, and you'll see how I run into roadblocks sometimes, and I'm able to come back and go forward following my processes, and I'll have success. And I want you to have that same success too. So day 8, I came in here yesterday, I regrouped, and I realized certain things that I needed to do around clarifying what I sell. So hopefully you're binge watching what we're talking about. Otherwise, go catch up. Love to have you here, but go catch up. It really puts you on the right pace. So day 8, I said, I will come back and show you how I'm going to go get keywords and learn the language of the problems the government is talking about related to what I sell, because I'm still in this I'm just entering the second week of the year, and I'm still in this phase of refining what I sell to a really good message. And so I have top keywords. I'm doing LinkedIn engagement is really the big thing I'm doing. I think I have slides somewhere, but I don't have them open at the moment. But LinkedIn engagement in order to help federal agencies reach industry, that's what I'm doing. And I have 50 keywords that yesterday I shrunk them down into 29 keywords. And from there, I got a task and said, let me go show you how to be able to get other words. So this is what I want to show you today. I'm going to show you a little bit. I'll walk you through some of the steps I do to find the data that's really helpful to me. And then I'll go away offline and continue my task for the rest of the hour, or until my steak gets here, because I ordered takeout. But we'll see how that works. Okay, I did say this was a raw, video. It's not like my planned trainings I do at noon every day. This is a raw journey. It's me trying to build the business. So I get hungry and I talk about it. All right, I want to share my screen, and I think I'm doing the right thing here. Good. I just want to make sure this is good to go. I'm going to put me in the corner. And I'm going to come up, pull this slide up. Hopefully I got it going good. Okay, so one of the things I said is I know that in federal agencies, one of my target program offices and buyers within the federal agency is going to be small business offices. These are offices within the federal agencies that are designed to be liaisons basically between internal agency customers, the program offices, et cetera, and those of us in industry, us small and large businesses. So these small business offices are trying to find industry, and particularly small business vendors like you and me that can serve their need. They're not trying to help all of us succeed. They're trying to find those of us who can support the agency need. Anyways, I know that for me, I actually want to target this group more than almost anybody else. And so that's what I'm going to show you today is how I go find it. So they have something called small business. I don't even know how to spell small business strategy. I'm going to do, because I know this is a document, but you can pretty much type anything out there. And then I'm going to do this little tip here. I don't know if you can see this. Let me zoom in. But inside of Google or whatever search engine you use, you can say file type file type :PDF, and that'll go find me files that are PDF. That's really what I want, a small business strategy that is in a PDF. One more tip on using Google is you can type in this word site. And if I do site, then I can put site : dot, right? Imagine, and I'm just going to put mil for a second. So I'm looking, before I even go everywhere, I'm just going to look in the military and say, hey, Navy, Army, and Air Force, have you got a small business strategy I can look at? And so when I type mil, Army.mil, it'll find all those, Air Force.mil, things like that, right? So this is really handy. If I wanted to look for something from HHS, I could type dot, so you make sure that period is there, .hhs.gov. If I said .gov, I would get all these state and local governments, but there's really only one military. But if I put HHS ahead of it, I'm able to shrink it down. So, okay, so here I want .mil, and let's go see what we got. So you can see right away I'm getting a bunch. I like to open up a bunch and then come back and look. So this one here, that's funny. I know my military, but I don't know what that one is. I got to go look at it. I'm so curious now. DHRA. Why am I drawing a blank? I don't know what DHRA is, because that's like defense health. Now I've got distracted, but I have to be distracted. What is DHRA? Military. Let's leave it at that. Defense Human Resource Activity. Okay, so I see what happened is the Defense Human Resource Activity, for the fun of it, they just put this strategic document up there. It's not actually theirs. By the way, if you do human resources, pay attention to the fact that there is a huge command just on human resources. Let me zoom in. So we've got the Navy Small Business Strategy. Let me give you one other suggestion here, is I can click more. No, tools over here. I can hit tools and say, show me only things that have been updated in the last year. And so when I come in, I'm looking at, kind of current stuff. So I'm going to look at this. I don't care about that one because it doesn't really say strategy. And then, actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to click on it and just make sure it's not good. Here's an Office of Small Business Program report for FY23. Let's see what that is. I don't need to show you a ton, but I can show you some good ones. So this strategy works to reduce barriers for entry to small businesses. Let's go look at that. Now I'm touching on Air Force small business. Let's look at that. Here's defense contracts. So inside of DoD, there's a lot of agencies. There's 3 major departments, Army, Navy, and Air Force, Marines, if you call that, but Marines are under the Navy. There's Space Force, that's under the Air Force kind of thing. And then the 4th major entity in the DoD is called the 4th Estate, and that's where all these extra agencies like the Defense Contract Audit Agency, they do audits on the contracts that are held in the DoD. All right, I can't remember if I clicked. Well, I must have clicked on it, but I don't feel like I did. There it is. I did do it. I don't care about these. These are slides, but this is important for you in the future if you want. I'm just looking. Okay, so I went through one page and that was it. Let me show you one other tip just in case you're like me and you want to know. If you use Google, this is just a fly. If you use Google like I do, you see how it only shows 10 results? That's Google's new thing. It's default. I don't know if the other browsers do it, and I think they do. But right up here, and I can't zoom my screen in, but if you look right up here where my mouse is, it says num equals 10. If I change that to 100 and hit enter, now it shows me way more results. Just a ton. It shows me 100 results. It drives me nuts to have to go to the next page. Okay, so let's go look at these documents and see which ones. As a reminder, I'm trying to look for the problems around engaging with industry. That's really what I'm trying to do because that's what I'm going to sell. So here, let me zoom out. And I'm just showing you what I'm doing, but I'm actually looking at this myself. One of the first things that I can see here, see how it says small business strategy? But this is coming from the head of contracting activity. This HCA is in every agency. And so I can see this already that in NAVC, it's not just the small business office, but the head of contracting, which is basically the top contracting officer for NAVC, which spends billions right? And then PEOs are these program executive offices, which you can learn. But I'm like, okay, this is really good. And this is for FY25, 24 and 25. So inside of NAVC, they're talking about these different PEOs that they have. And basically each one of these things are talking about what they're trying to do in their department. I don't really care for today because most of them are just blowing smoke. No offense, but they just say the same things over and over again. You got to learn that if you're new to government contracting. But if I come down, I want to look really, let me just come down here. Here's their strategy. This is the small business strategy goals. It's a plan to communicate, to act, and track. I'm not reading that totally as a goal, but maybe I'm missing something. But here, they're strengthening the small business acquisition planning. So if I look in here, they talk about enhancing the acquisition team. That's not me. Expand specialized small business training. Okay, so that's something I can do. It's because here they're saying expand specialized small business training to the acquisition workforce. Well, maybe I can offer a special training that's unique to that workforce from a business perspective, where every other perspective is somebody in the government saying, hey, let me teach you. So most of this is around professional development for those guys. So let me come down to the next letter, communicate. So this is huge. This is where I fit in. I'm creating, and let me see really quick. Do I still have Nancy Co open? No, of course not. But I had this line that we are helping federal agencies engage with the industry by maximizing the power of LinkedIn is basically what I said. But when I see improved small business communication, that is exactly the problem area that I want to solve. And so here they're saying establish a communication plan, including a social media strategy. This is ideal. When I go to knock on doors, I'm going to reference this when I have meetings. I'm going to say, I was looking at the strategic plan. It says this. I'd like to explore that. You know, for example, right now on LinkedIn, I have a bigger LinkedIn following of people following the Navy than the Navy does in certain areas, right? And I can show them how I built that, and I can talk about it. Here, it's just saying promote high velocity, and I can talk about getting engaged. But here, organize and host small business industry days as an opportunity. I do daily at noon East Coast LinkedIn live events. I bring industry together. Imagine what I could do for you, Navy, if it was you and me collaboratively bringing these people forward. I know how to bring them in. You, being in the Navy, will attract them because you're offering to buy stuff from small businesses. You get my point? So I'm looking at this, and I might put in, I don't have that open, and I don't feel like opening at the moment. But if I had my slide deck and you'd look at the keywords, I might look at this and say, organize and host small business industry days, or even something like that. Just having that. This is a specialty of ours. I wish I could highlight this, but it's not letting me highlight because it's a picture. It's not actually a true PDF. So that stuff's good. This whatever this check mark is exactly what I want. Here, implement virtual small business capability briefings for targeted engagement. I can talk to the Navy and say one of the things we do is to make sure those companies are ready before they brief, so you're not wasting your time, et cetera. Promote awareness of the small business related memorandums, directives. I don't know who they're promoting it to, though, whether they're promoting it internally or to industry, but that's one of the things we can do. So this is good. Implement a small business strategy. Provide training and guidance to the acquisition community, acquisition of the buyers. Leverage the capability of some tool, engage with PEOs on the fast lane. Here, strive to achieve DON, small business socioeconomic targets. I know I shouldn't use cultural references in my trainings, but if you've ever seen a movie called Star Wars, back in the 70s in particular, there was a guy called Yoda. He was a Jedi, and this other guy, Luke. And when Luke was learning from Yoda, and he was like, I'm trying. It's like, no try, do. No strive to achieve your goals. Achieve them. What are you striving to achieve them for? You're killing me. All right, coordinate with the small business office on business initiatives and promoting DoD-wide leveraging, blah, blah, blah. So that's an area I can help. And then I'm looking for somewhere where they talk about, this is just tracking stuff. Here's measurements of how they're going to measure themselves. Oh, it looks like maybe this is where they start measuring themselves separately. So right in here, talk about specific efforts to increase participation, blah, blah, blah. I'll come back to this, but this is really good. It gives me a lot of fodder. This memorandum, I don't know what this guy is. Hold on one second. So this one here, small business. Oh, this is that one. It's talking about, so I can reference these type of things because I'm trying to go in saying, hey, let me help you engage with small businesses. They're a vital role in the defense industrial base. And they're essential to driving our nation's economy. That will become part of my language in some of my marketing material as I have keywords that somebody will find me on, like LinkedIn or social media. But I also want to use some of their language on something as simple as this, right? We help you reach small businesses who are essential to driving the nation's economy, advancing innovation, and strengthening defense, right? So I look through here. It's what the acquisition workforce can do. Here it's talking about some other stuff. This particular one, just so you know, it's all about contracts, and it's not really interesting. But this one is awesome, where they're talking about DoD components. The buyers should be using DSBS, et cetera. So for me, looking at these tools and making sure that I'm communicating it out there and I can talk to my customer. All right, let me come over here. This is the Army Small Business one. Okay, so the Army Small Business report. This looks awesome. And hold on, I got too many things up. So we'll have to deal with that. I do tend to ramble at the end of the day. So in here, what I'm looking at is I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it faster. I'm looking for some highlights. This is their vision. Okay, so here's one. Let me zoom into this. Here they're talking about the Army OSDBU's fundamental tool for assisting small businesses is its presence. And so they want to have various industry-specific conferences. And what I'm telling them is it's archaic to be putting together a list of things that are all just in person. First off, you're forcing us to go there. Second off, it's one kind of thing. Where are the other things that can happen in here? So as I look through this, I'm realizing, like this is a small business office and they got GDIT is the event. And it's like, come on, what are you doing? And so I can offer them double this amount of events, like very affordable. And this goes back to what am I selling and who do I want to sell it to? I can go in and say, you've got 15 events planned. I can give you 30 additional events with no significant lift on your side. We can handle the organization. It'll cost you money, but we will get out there and we will increase the participation in contracts and in market research, et cetera. Here they're talking about the plans, and this goes in again to what they're doing. I want to look at this. This is something else you want to track, right? I'm looking at the Army's plan and I'm seeing they want to do readiness, et cetera. So here they want an effective outreach program. That's funny because I sell effective outreach programs, or I sell outreach programs that effectively reach industry, right? I will take what they say, twist it around into my offer. Here, increase small business opportunities in all categories. What they mean by that is in the hub zone, woman owned, et cetera, these tags that we have, right? Well, I can talk to them and say, look, I've done 455 events in a single year that is designed to do this. In one particular 24-hour period, I got almost 100 people to respond to a hub zone RFI, or so I can come back and say, hey, we've done this. So there's all these objectives. I'm not going to read them all, but these are awesome because I will dig into these and refine what I'm offering, how I'm defining what I'm offering. And I'm going to try to take it and then push it down to a third grade level. So I don't just stay at this high level that's hard. Okay, so here's some slides so this is, who is this? The Army, I can't remember who that is. I'm getting tired. Acquisition and sustainment. You would think I would remember this, but I can start looking in here and start seeing some of the things they're talking about. I think what I would be looking at, let me go a couple of pages down, is their priorities right here. Deliver integrated capabilities at speed, protect and sustain the force, foster resilient, robust industrial base. So first off, this last one, a resilient and robust industrial base, that's what I'm trying to help you create as well. So I'll dig into that, but I'll integrate, protect and sustain the force somehow. I'll look in there and go, how can I say this softly, that what we are doing is contributing to the priorities of the Department of Defense. You want to sit there and integrate capabilities at speed and scale. Small businesses, you guys, small businesses can deliver on integrated capabilities on speed or at speed and scale. It's really hard for a large business to do that because they have to turn like a big cargo ship where you're a speedboat. So I'll be able to use that language. Let me look at this one really quick. This one looks too small for me to do anything. Small business advocates. Where's the title? That's all it says is small business advocates. I don't know what it means. I mean, I know what that means, but okay. Contracts with more advanced planning, small businesses can increase their already big contribution. This is something I can tie into right here. Bullet number 3. I saw this, right? With more advanced planning, small businesses can increase their already important and innovative contributions to the acquisition program's missions. And what I can say to them is, look, you want to be looking at 2026. I can be building that industrial base constantly. So more and more small businesses are there and hear about your opportunity to respond to that need that you have through all these different ways. And then they talk about some of this other stuff that's in here. Here, so biannual strategies, annual plans. So I can go find these. These guys are telling me more stuff I should go look, like bullet B here, annual plans. It says that small business advocates need to develop and manage a PEO and TEO annual goal and spending. Well, I can identify, well, who are these people? Who are the small business advocates in these PEOs and TEOs? All right. And when I find that out, I can begin. These will be the people I'm knocking on their doors. I don't mean like I'm going to go miraculously from this document to making tons of money. I'm just saying I'm starting to understand my customer. I'm starting to understand how they're talking. I'm starting to understand their priorities about developing and monitoring the attainment of small business goals, et cetera. And then this last one I'll show you. The last one over here is DoD, by the way. That's huge and that's great. But I already kind of showed it and I'm running out of time. Okay, so this one here, 13 pages of pure gold. By the way, every time I come in, I'm able to see people like Terry, and I see them building the priorities. Terry must be the entire director, but it doesn't matter. I can latch on and see if she's got other messages around small business priorities in there. Let me zoom in. So this is perfect. I won't even go farther down for the moment. If I just scroll down to the goals, right? Optimize and value, cultivate a premier. So they're talking about cultivate a premier diverse workforce within the small business community. Let me just make sure. No, I made a mistake. Sorry. This is the entire DCAA strategic plan. But if I come down here, influence the business environment, I have to figure out where it's fitting in. Actually, because I'm doing this, let me make myself show it to you. And then I'm going to kind of wrap up. So here I'm looking at the priorities. This is something you want to do. It's different. I'll train you a different day on that. I'm looking at the stuff they're doing. I'm looking for basically, what am I doing? I'm looking for small business. Are you in there? Good. So here, key accomplishments, they're talking about emphasize small business engagement, increasing small business participation in the events they increased it by over 90%. What does that really mean? Did you have 10 people and now you're at like 19, 20 people? Or did you go from 10,000 to a much higher number? Partnered with federal agencies and others to create training, webinar, and other content. By the way, now that I see this, I'll go create a couple of free things around DCAA for Nancy Co. when I start getting going to try to get them to see me as well. Who's this company kind of promoting our small business goals, et cetera. 1, 2, 3. So this is the entire thing they say about small business. So there's not a lot in there. And this one here, if I pop down, well, it breaks it up too much, but right here. So here, let me wrap up with this. I can look at these things about a management approach for the small business programs, ensure the department's small business activities align with the priorities. Somewhere in here, right here, educate small businesses, improve outreach and communication. I literally started on day one of this journey by saying, I want to build an outreach and communication company. I tweaked it to LinkedIn, right? But I'm going to dig down on page 19 and I'm going to come back and reference it. And, and this is a good thing for us to be able to pursue that. Okay, I know I'm going at a fire hose pace. That's 25 minutes. If you held out, then you got a lot of good information. But when I'm going to go to $1 million company, I'm going to take the time to read these documents. I'm going to find these PDFs, put the energy into reading them and finding how they align to what I do. I'm not going to go out to some conference. The government is talking to me right here on their websites. And when I have that, it'll make me, first off, better prepared to have the meeting. But when I have the meeting, it'll make me sound like I care. And I say this line, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. If I'm talking about their strategic plans and the directions and the reason they need small businesses, then I can talk about, hey, I know small businesses, I can bring them to you. Hopefully you found the training valuable. If you did, throw a comment. If you have a question, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll try to get back to you. I will talk to you later.